Jeff, why do you host travelers?
Good question. I did it after I came out of the woods, where I was living in a tent post-Occupy. It was a political movement in 2011. Two reasons. One was I wanted to meet new people. The second one was I didn't have a job and they were couch surfers, so I would take them sailing and they would buy me food like that. So that's it's kind of a business, huh?
Yeah.
People said that I was running a couch surfers business. But Workaway is not the same, as you know. With you, it's a little different, but with Workaway, the idea is I've got food too, which sometimes I've had it and sometimes not as much. I've tried to stick to it, but lately it's not as important following the rules of Workaway. It's changed. It's not as easy as it looks. And I'm not making it look that easy, I know. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's a little bit harder. So I guess the answer to that question was, it was answered by doing it. I didn't have those two answers when I started doing it. I just did it. And then I found out why I was doing it halfway through.
Was there one particular experience that was really memorable or stands out to you?
The most memorable experience? The last person I had that was on the boat for a while was the best experience. And the only person I had selected, most of them select me. And I either am able to host them or not. But this woman, I saw that she had done some really beautiful art, and I wanted that kind of experience. I wanted to learn how to do it myself, and I wanted her to draw some pictures of the people, especially around here. And so she came on the boat, and she was almost too perfect until the last day. She got a little sick. Not from seasickness or anything. She had allergies. And then it was like, okay, this is a person. This isn't just some kind of goddess. This is a regular human being. Some people around me, my neighbors and other anchor outs, would be a little shocked when I told them that I had a lovely blonde on my boat, and we went to Angel Island, and we climbed the island and came back down and shared chocolate and a candlelit dinner. So even though it was so great while she was here, after she was gone, it was hard. So it's the same. It's kind of the same way that a lot of people that in this age of easy travel, they're here and then they're gone.
Right.
And that's gotten harder and harder for me every time, really. With you, it's a little bit easier because you helped me get across the country to see my dad, and I had wanted to do that for a while. But I become friends with people and then they're just gone, and if I'm not doing it for money as a business, it's a little heartbreaking.
Right.
And I stopped wanting to do it. So I haven't really done it much in the last year.
So how does hosting people make your life different?
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes everything different, from getting up in the morning to going to sleep at night, to keeping the boat clean or not, having 2 kayaks or 1 kayak, like that, right? Thinking about food from another person's point of view. It helps me understand how much time I need to be alone, really, and how much time it's not quite necessary. And if I don't have somebody on the boat, I forget. I can be alone for long periods of time, and I lose a little of that social lubrication, I guess you could say.
What religion do you practice, if any, and does it have any effect on your hosting decision?
I want to say I'm a Jubileeist. I was born Jewish, and I still am. It's not something a person chooses. We're chosen, but we're not choosing like that. I also have studied the other world religions, many of them. And I'm interested in somebody's purpose in life, their meaning, which is another word for religion. So I want somebody to examine it for themselves so I can understand them better and I can get along with them better. The fact that I've studied it means that I push people a little bit more, whether it's the Bible or Surya Namaskara, yoga. It doesn't affect who I meet because we don't ever talk about it. I didn't mention anything about it. On the profile there might be something, and Jubilee is a religious word, but not one that most people are really familiar with. What it really means, or what it used to mean. Right. So I remember writing about that in the profile. I haven't looked at the profile since I wrote it, except for once or twice, and I don't change it. I just leave it up there, and that maybe is not the best thing, because things have changed since I started, and I want to prepare people for what it's going to be and not mislead them, and that Friday night to Saturday night, the Sabbath, that's something I still care about. That makes a difference. So even if I'm doing something with somebody, it's like, okay, here's a day where I'm not going to be scheduling any work, right? But it doesn't make any difference as far as who I host. It makes a difference on how I feel about them, for sure. That it's a part of, that religion means what a person believes in most. That's another definition of it, not just whether somebody's a Protestant or a Catholic. And everybody's got one. And even if they say they are against the whole idea, that's a religion too. So I want people to be conscious about it. That's what I like. Even it doesn't have to agree with mine. But it has to be something that is something that a person's willing to think about, even talk about. And if they don't, I can get a little more frustrated. Have you felt that with me?
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
Well, I felt it just because we talked about it. You had the Bible, and so you were reading the Gospel. So I started reading them more. Really, I'm pretty suggestible that way.
As am I. I would call you a more religious, spiritual man. Do you think that has had an impact on you trying to open up your world to others? Is that part of your motivation behind hosting?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So once, I think I don't know if this was in Matthew or Mark, but I'm pretty sure it's in Luke. And in fact, I know it's in Luke, that Jesus is, and this is in the 4th chapter, he's gone back to Nazareth, which is his hometown, and so everybody knows him, and they're kind of shocked that he's reading from Isaiah, and maybe he's doing it really well. I guess he is. But he says that no prophet is honored in his own hometown.
Mm-hmm. I just read that part.
Yeah, but it's not true just for prophets. It's true for singers or artists or brick masons. It could be anybody. But people, if they see you every day, can take you for granted, and they're not going to think you're anything special. You might be the most special person in the world in whatever you're special at, but until you get away from your family, get away from the people who you've grown up with, it's sometimes hard to tell, right? So that includes with religion. So everybody hears me, and then if I repeat myself, they're going to get bored. But if there's somebody new, then I can find out without traveling, because people are traveling to see me, right? I can give a check to see where I'm at by the reaction from other people, as opposed to just people yawning and going, oh, that's that guy again.